Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Alex, and I'm outside a glorious Old Trafford this morning, and I saw some comments on Stephen Howson's transfer review saying that the formerly great weather channel that is Stretford Paddock is no longer doing weather reports. But I'm here to tell you, it's glorious. I'm in my shorts, Callum's in a t-shirt. It is fantastic here in Manchester, and I've got all sorts of news to do. I've got transfer news, I've got some news around current players, including this man, Donny van der Beek, and also, let's start with England squad has to be finalised today. Very strange from Gareth Southgate announcing this 33-man squad, this extra squad, knowing that he had to give his actual squad, his 26, before all of them have arrived at training and before they've even played a friendly game. So what's going to happen today is he's going to have to announce the squad and then tell half of them they've got to stick around to play the game because we've not got enough players. Absolute madness from Gareth Southgate. But the big news for that, especially for Manchester United fans, are the two players that are maybe on the border of being in the squad. Number one is Mason Greenwood. So we've just got back to the office and the news has broke that Mason Greenwood has pulled out of the England squad for Euro 2020. Mason Greenwood, a question mark whether he was going to go anyway, hadn't been included in the last few of Gareth Southgate's squad, but a statement has been released by Manchester United saying that Mason Greenwood has pulled out due to an injury that he's been carrying all season and wants to recover from that. Now, there'll be a lot of speculation whether that is the case or whether it is something that Gareth Southgate has decided on. Obviously, there was the issue in Iceland with himself and Phil Foden that Gareth Southgate brought up on multiple occasions afterwards, saying that he needs to learn and all these different kind of things. Mason Greenwood had a very, very good end to the season, scoring a few more goals. I think he should have gone to the England squad if he's fully fit, but obviously Manchester United have made a decision, or Mason Greenwood have made a decision not to travel to the Euros. Now, there'll be a lot of people questioning, should Marcus Rashford be the one doing this as well? Is he fit enough to go to the Euros? Should he be pulling out? I don't think he will. I think he can play through any injury that he has for England. But Mason Greenwood right now has pulled out of the England squad and won't be travelling to Euro 2020. Now, let us know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think that's a good thing for Mason Greenwood? Do you think that he needed to go in terms of just his progression as a footballer, go into a tournament, maybe showing himself, or do you think it's the right decision for Mason Greenwood to sit out of this tournament, get his fitness right, and be back for Manchester United next season? So some more breaking news. Jesse Lingard is now out of the England squad. That is according to David Ornstein. Obviously had a great time on loan at West Ham, scoring 9 goals for the Hammers. Come back to Manchester United, yet to be seen what Jesse Lingard's future is in terms of who he's going to be playing for next season. But one thing is for certain, he's not going to Euro 2020. What do you think? Do you think that's a big miss for Gareth Southgate's squad? Personally, I like Jesse Lingard, and I think that Gareth Southgate is a big fan of him and how he plays. He trusted him in the World Cup, and I think he wanted him to play in this in the Euros. But according to David Ornstein, Jesse Lingard will not be going to Euro 2020. That's the first bit. The next bit is around Harry Maguire. That's been the talk all the way through this summer. Is he going to be fit enough to play for England? He obviously wasn't fit enough to make the squad for the Europa League final. He made the bench, but I think that was more of a, if he wins, he's in his kit and stuff, and he doesn't do full John Terry and put his shin pads on afterwards. We don't really know whether Harry Maguire is that fit and what the true extent of that injury is. Him getting announced in the squad today, or him getting left out, will kind of give us an idea of how fit Harry Maguire is and whether there's a risk of him not being fit for the start of next season, because as we've seen, we need Harry Maguire. We can't do without him. So hopefully today, Harry Maguire's announcing that England squad, being told he will start, and hopefully that injury isn't as bad as a few people think. So the next bit of news this morning is about the man on my t-shirt, Donny van der Beek. It was said in the Telegraph yesterday, Mike McGrath, who's been saying a lot of things recently about Manchester United. He looks very much like he's been briefed by the club, but he was saying that Donny van der Beek is set to have a meeting with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer around his plans for the next season and where he fits in with the squad. Look, Donny van der Beek obviously last season didn't play as many games. You can see his stats below. He didn't play that many games for Manchester United last season, only getting the 1 goal at the start of the season. Everyone wanted to see more of him. Everyone was crying out all season that he was the one that should be brought on. He was the one that should be playing. Don't know how Fred's getting in the team ahead of him, how McTominay maybe even playing ahead of him. But look, I think the big thing with that, I don't think his fitness was up to scratch. I don't think he was fit, considering didn't play since March last year, all the way up until that first pre-season game against Aston Villa. I don't think he's at the level that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants his players. You saw what happened with Manchester United the season before when he came in. He changed the squad completely. We went from a very, very, very slow team in Jose Mourinho, a team that didn't press very much, to a team that did a lot more running. And maybe Donny van der Beek wasn't quite at that level just yet. I think that with a pre-season under his belt this season, with hopefully a bit of rest as well, he'll be able to play in that. Also, they're still unsure about his true position, Donny van der Beek. A lot of people saying he can play in that too in the midfield. A lot of people saying he's a number 10. I think that what needs to happen is he needs to adapt into that squad. And I think that he needs a bit of training. He needs to be able to work on things, work on the position. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer maybe wants to change his formations up a little bit, and he's not had the chance to do that because we've not had any time off. We've played every 3 days. There's not been the couple of weeks off we usually get here and there in the season. Played 61 games of football last season, Manchester United. You can't change things up in that, because when you do, you lose Champions League finals to Chelsea and do things wrong like that, like Guardiola does. You have to keep things pretty steady throughout the season, and that is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did all the way through. He kept his 4-2-3-1. Fred and McTominay were the ones that sat a lot. He didn't really try Pogba in there that often, didn't even try Nemanja Matic. He kept things pretty steady. And you can't keep changing things when you've not got time to work on it. I'm hoping next season Donny van der Beek gets his pre-season under his belt, gets to work on his positioning and find out where his true position is for Manchester United, and plays an important part next season. So it wouldn't be a news without talking about that there Jadon Sancho, moved from Borussia Dortmund, which looks pretty likely to happen. Stephen Howson didn't give it a 4 out of 10 in his transfer review. He's not that excited about it yet, but he's looking like it will happen. Jadon Sancho. There's reports all over the place today saying bids are imminent. There's some stuff in the MEN this morning about personal terms have been agreed. I know, it's the MEN. Calm down. I know. I completely understand. MEN, personal terms are agreed. This is from Sport 1 in Germany and all this kind of stuff. And that we're just waiting to finalise the price. But hasn't that been the case since I'd stood here last year doing it? Or even earlier than that, January last year? Personal terms have already been set. Jadon Sancho will be happy to join Manchester United. It's just about getting the cash. It's just about putting that bid in. Now, there's reports a few weeks ago that this happened before the Euros. Jadon Sancho has now arrived at the England camp. They're in Middlesbrough doing some bit of training. Is this going to get done before they go away, before they start all that? Or is this one going to rumble on and be after the Euros? I know that Borussia Dortmund wanted this done before the Euros so that they could get planning, they could start signing everyone else and using their replacements. But will this get done? Is there enough time to get it done before the Euros start? It's only 10 days away before England play their first game. 10 days. It's exciting stuff. But will Jadon Sancho be a Manchester United player before that, after that, or not at all? Let me know in the comments. Do you think the Jadon Sancho deal will get done before the Euros? Final bit of transfer news is about Rafael Varane, that centre-half from Real Madrid that turns out a couple of clubs want. So this report from the Express is saying that Manchester United and Chelsea have agreed. They said they've agreed the things. They've not agreed anything with the club. They've agreed that they have to spend that much money to get him, which I don't quite know what that means, but that's what the Express are writing this morning. They're writing Rafa Varane's price has been set at 60 million euros, which seems a lot for 1 year left on his contract. It's a lot of money, that, for a defender that's getting on a little bit. He's not in his prime now. Not a young defender, not someone that could do maybe 10 years, but a very, very good defender for Manchester United if he does come in. 60 million euros is the price they're saying. They're saying that fees have been discussed, and that's how much you're going to have to pay. They're saying the same things about personal terms. They're going to know how much that is. And they're saying that Chelsea and Manchester United are involved. I mean, United want a centre-half. It's pretty clear. I think that's the thing that's going to happen all summer. I think Manchester United have identified that forward in Jadon Sancho or another, you've then got a centre-half. Looking at Rafael Varane, looking at a few others. They mentioned Pau Torres in this article. It looks like a centre-half is on Manchester United list. Not too much talk about midfielders, which is a little bit worrying. There was obviously the Sal Niguez stuff. Declan Rice has been on the list for a while. But we need a midfielder, I think, over a centre-half. I think I'd much rather get Declan Rice in than Rafael Varane. But I'd be happy to get both. I think we definitely need both. You've seen that this season. As soon as we lose Harry Maguire, we look a lot worse. We don't look as good. So it's clear that we need someone else experienced, someone else that can lead that line and run that defence for us. So hopefully get one of those over the line. Is it a Rafael Varane? Is it a Pau Torres? Get into the comments. Let us know. What would you rather do? If you've got to make a choice, do you go for the experience in Rafael Varane at what could be 60 million? Or do you go for Pau Torres? Maybe a little bit cheaper, around the 30 million euro mark, 30 million pound mark. A little bit younger. Bit more of a risk though, maybe. Maybe he's not the finished article. He's going to come in with a lot more pressure than what Rafael Varane would. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about that one? Rafael Varane, Pau Torres, or neither of them? Right, that is all from me outside the glorious Old Trafford. Make sure you're liking this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we've got all sorts coming up. Transfers Live is on tonight. You've got Joe Smith. You'll have Jay Motti. They'll be talking you through any breaking news that's happened today. Have a good laugh with them. It's around 9 o'clock. Make sure you're hitting the notification bell to be told when we are going live. I have been Alex. This has been Stretford Paddock. I'll see you later.